Alrighty, boys, what is going on? Welcome to round number 2 of the ALCS of this playoff series. This time we're going to be going up against the Houston Astros. This is going to be a very, very challenging one as they are ranked top 5 in just about every category. I don't know if it's a, I don't know if they've, recouped from cheating and they became actually good or what it is, but we took a look at their roster earlier in the season, and my God, they are really pushing for this year. This is their year. It's either this year or no year, and I think they've chose this year. So looking at things, Alex Bregman led it with 312. Yonder Alvarez with 45 home runs as well as 113 RBIs. We're going to see Noah Syndergaard come in and to start this one off against Logan Gilbert. That's right, we are not starting things off with our starter, Jameson Taillon. We're starting things off with Logan Gilbert, giving him a chance to play. Now here comes Jimenez. Look at him trying to pump up the crowd, pump up the boys, get things going. Yeah! In this ALCS game, trying to get some confidence going. Alright, so thank you for that moment of silence. It was the national anthem, But Logan Gilbert, 16-6 record, 3.98 ERA. I trust this guy, alright? This guy had a fantastic rookie season. I think he has what it takes to push through this and get things going. Next game, we will go back to Jameson Taillon as I've lost faith in our man. Yeah, you know what guy. You know exactly what guy I'm talking about. Russell Lincoln. I've lost faith in Russell Lincoln. We'll give him a chance next year, maybe, but he's going to have to earn it. He wants to get paid. He's unhappy here. Maybe we just got to ship him out. But here comes Jose Altuve to start things off against Logan Gilbert. His first one's taken for a strike up high. 0-1 to count. Again, this is Gilbert's first time in the postseason. Look at those socks. Those are some nice socks on Gilbert. Nice little curveball. Strike number 2. 0-2 to Altuve. And Altuve is now sitting back like, all right, kid, all right. I see you. I understand now that you are coming for keeps. You're playing for keeps. You're playing to win. All right. So 0-2 the count. Will Gilbert be able to punch him out here? Well, this one swung on and hit into right field. This one's going to go foul, though, as a fan. And the fans are going to start fighting for it. Jose Altuve still looking to stay and keep this one alive, but swung on at the one in the dirt. He's going to run for first, and he's just going to be out. Just going to be straight up out right there. Just a straight up out. A little unfortunate. Not unfortunate, but that's good that we got him out. Good defensive read from George Alfaro there. Logan Gilbert going to be going up against Alex Bregman, who's batting .333 this postseason. Had 195 hits and 158 games this season, but batting .333 this postseason, 4 games. So this guy does get on base on average about once per game. He now has a 1-1 count. Pitches away. This one swung and hit foul. Now 1-2. Weather today, it was 57 degrees, partially cloudy. And it's nighttime. But we are, we could be in a dome. We could not be in a dome. We decided to open dome. It looks like a nice night out. It's not raining or anything, so it's all fair. And there we go. Alex Bregman gets struck out. He has a little smirk on his face, like, ah, man, I wish I had that. I probably should have had that, but no, I didn't. I chased it. Good pitch from the young kid. Yep. Good pitch from the young kid, Logan Gilbert. Looks like we got some type of Mario symbol behind the plate there. So Logan Gilbert's going to start Yordan Alvarez with a strike here. He's batting .364 in 4 games. This one swung on and hit into the opposite side of the shift. Luckily, but the pitch gets away. He reaches off of an error. He hits it to the third baseman, who grounds it cleanly in the opposite shift, but just overthrows the first baseman. Look at this. Fields cleanly, has plenty of time. Throws, but throws it just way too high. Luckily, we were able to just keep him to a single, but he reaches off of an error there. Now brings up Austin Meadows. Acquired from Tampa Bay and looking to make a deep playoff run with them. He's batting .143 this postseason. Gilbert not happy right now, as he should have a clean sheet. No one should be on base. But he's getting set with his little funky stance there. 2 outs. Start this one off with a strike one. 204 home runs for Austin Meadows in 6 seasons. Pretty good. It's a good stat line there for him. Good stat line for him. Alright, this one's going to be taken for a ball, as Gilbert probably realized after that first one, like, alright, he's not really pitching me strikes. Probably should just lay off him, let him come to me. Wait for him to throw another strike. I get called strike, and then, and only then will I start swinging. Well, Gilbert, though, going to throw one in the dirt. Alfaro gets it, throw to second, unable to field it cleanly. What is going on with these Seattle Mariners and their fielding? No, wow. Their defense is struggling right now. Logan Gilbert's got it in his head. He's like, ah, shit, that's my fault. Guy on second. I just ruined a chance at really a forced play at second or first. Now my chances of getting an out, if it's hit, is lower. Meadows is going to get called on that check swing. It's going to be 2-2 now. Chance to put him away here is Logan Gilbert. He's going to throw this one. Strung on and missed as Meadow goes on for strikeout number 1 of the day. Or maybe it's number 2. Either way, 2 outs, 2 errors in 1 inning by Seattle. As now it brings up Seattle's Luis Garcia, Mookie Betts, and Max Kepler. But Noah Syndergaard is going to be starting us off. He has 2 starts, 0-0 record, 3.46 ERA so far. 14 strikeouts in 2 games. He averaged 7 strikeouts per game. But Noah Syndergaard also led the league in complete games and complete game shutouts this season with 3 and 5. Luis Garcia right now batting .167. Also had a similar postseason stats last year. But we'll be looking to build off of him. See if he can start us off here. And so Syndergaard throws the first ball, which will be a ball as well. Last game, he had Luis Garcia was 1 for 4 with just a single. Syndergaard throws another ball, but Garcia goes chasing off that sinker. 1-1 now the count. Syndergaard looks at him, probably thinking, all right, I know exactly where to throw this ball now. I know exactly where to put them. Pitches away. This one is in the strike zone. That was Luis Garcia's chance to turn and rip one. But he holds back. Maybe he just didn't like it. He's like, I don't think this is it. I'm not going to swing. And he sits back. This one now Stuart. Oh, another wild ball. You should have let that one go. He swung at 2 wild balls that he had no reason to go swinging at, and he decides to swing at them. And the one pitch that he should have swung at, he doesn't. So, unfortunately, that's going to be strikeout number 1. Bring out Mookie Betts, who's batting .273 this postseason. First one's taken for a ball, similar to Luis Garcia's, kind of the same spot for that first ball. Mookie Betts kind of getting settled in here, having a much better postseason at batting average than he did last year, but he's still missing those home runs. Ball 2 now to Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts was 0 for 4 and a strikeout last game. Ball number 3 to Mookie Betts. 3-0 is the count. Betts just going to sit back, and unless he sees a pitch that he can hit a home run off of, he's just going to sit back and let him get walked. Yep, there it was. Syndergaard just throwing one right down the middle. Try to get that one strike, trying to be like, hey, Betts, don't sit too comfortably. 3-1 now the count. Betts still doesn't have to swing if he doesn't want to. He can still just sit back and wait for his pitch. He is in the advantage. And as he swings one, but it's a nice little chopper right at the pitcher. Nice little easy out for him. And that's going to be out number 2.
Batting third, the left fielder, Max Kepler.
Now up to bat is Max Kepler, batting .333 this season, this postseason with 1 home run. Syndergaard going to start him off with a pitch kind of down the middle. Max Kepler could have turned that one. Kepler versus Syndergaard. He's 1 for 12 with just 1 RBI with a .083 batting average. So Kepler is not in the greatest predicament here, but things could change. This is postseason. This is where heroes are made. All right, 1-1 now to Kepler as he lets that sinker go. All right, 1-1. This one turned and hit into the opposite side of the shift. Goes towards the wall. Plenty of time to get a double here. Yep, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Max Kepler starts us off with a double. Can we get a 2-out rally going? Look at him. He's not that hype. He's kind of acting cool, but now brings up Eloy Jimenez, batting .167 this postseason, trying to score Max Kepler from second. First one's taken for strike number 1, 99-mile-per-hour sinker there. Syndergaard is like, all right, no more playing around. I got to get out of this one. I can't allow him to get a lead. All right, Syndergaard coming in as Eloy Jimenez swings at that one. Oh, Eloy Jimenez was acquired via free agency, it says. But that's not true. We traded for him. So maybe the Kansas City signed him in free agency? Alright. Eloy Jimenez gets struck out. Alright, so while I was trying to remember his past history and past teams, he gets struck out. So that means it's time to get into the quick sim. But 1 hit, 2 errors for Seattle. Very unfortunate start to this game. Hopefully we can turn things around. All right, so Francisco Lindor against Logan Gilbert. What's going on? Did I pick the wrong? Why was it like that? There we go. All right, so Smith now coming up. DeMonica Smith, who hits a single. Pick off first to keep him fair against Carlos Correa, who also hits a single. Bring up Corey Lee, who gets struck out. Bring up Kyle Tucker, who hits a double, scoring both Smith and Correa. Jose Altuve hits into a flyout, though. Adam Frazier comes and pops out. George Alfaro strikeout. Cesar Tuce Jr. strikeout. Logan Gilbert against Alex Bregman, who gets walked. Pick off first. He's safe. Bring up Yordan Alvarez, who gets struck out. Austin Meadows hits a single, bringing Bregman over to third. Francisco Lindor hits into a fielder's choice. Bring up DeMonica Smith, who gets struck out. Jake Bowers comes in lineout. Jared Kelenic strikeout, and Luis Garcia gets walked. Try to steal second. He advances over to second. Bring up Mookie Betts, who's going to get struck out. Carlos Correa gets walked. Lee hits into a flyout. Kyle Tucker strikes out, and Jose Altuve hits a single. Correa over on third. Alex Bregman hits into a fielder's choice. Still 2-0 lead for the Houston Astros. Max Kepler, only guy to get a hit so far for Seattle, comes in. He gets walked. Eloy Jimenez now coming up. He hits into a pop-out. Adam Frazier fly out, and George Alfaro hits a single. Kepler now over on third. Jose Alfaro on first. Bring up Cesar Tuce Jr., who gets struck out. We're going to see a pitching change here over for Frank Pedera. Alvarez gets into a flyout. Austin Meadows grounds out, and Francisco Lindor gets walked. Pick him off at first, and Smith gets struck out. All right, Jake Bowers comes in, hits a triple. That's what I like to see. Bring up Jared Kelenic, who hits a single, scoring Jake Bowers from first, cutting the lead in half. 2-1 now the score. Bring up Luis Garcia, who hits a single, guy on first and second for Mookie Betts, who hits a double, scoring Jared Kelenic from second. 2-2 now the score. Bring up Max Kepler, who hits into a ground out. Now 2 outs there. Adam Frazier. Oh no, my bad. Eloy Jimenez going up against Noah Syndergaard, who's going to get struck out. Frank Padera against Carlos Correa, who strikes out. Lee strikes out, and Kyle Tucker hits a single. Pick off at first. Jose Altuve comes out and hits into a pop-out. Noah Syndergaard against Adam Frazier. Adam Frazier hits a single. Bring up George Alfaro, who hits a double, scoring Adam Frazier from first, giving Seattle a 1-run lead. 3-2 now the score for Cesar Hernandez Jr. as now Syndergaard gets taken out for Eduardo Rodriguez, 82 overall, 30-year-old relief pitcher. Cesar Hernandez Jr. gets struck out. Jake Bowers strikes out, and Jared Kelenic gets struck out as well. Alex Bregman flies out. Jordan Alvarez grounds out, and Austin Meadows gets walked. Pick off at first for bringing out Francisco Lindor, who's going to take him to a fielder's choice. Eduardo Rodriguez still starting things off. And Luis Garcia hits a solo home run. Now Seattle up 4-2. Mookie Betts coming in, strikeout. Max Kepler comes in, fly out. Eloy Jimenez fly out as well. See a pitching change here. Over for Carl Edwards Jr. Smith gets walked. Bring up Carlos Correa, who hits a single. Bring up Corey Lee. But we're going to see a pitch run for Miles Straw. Bring up Lee, who gets walked. Now Kyle Tucker, who's going to hit into a sac fly. Now 3-4, 1-run lead for Jose Altuve, who gets into a fielder's choice. Bring up Alex Bregman, who gets struck out. All right, 4-3 now the score. Adam Frazier ground out. George Alfaro hits a solo home run, giving Seattle a 2-run lead. 5-3 now the score. Syracuse Jr. going up against a new pitcher, Framber Valdez, 74 overall relief pitcher coming on in here. Syracuse Jr. flies out. Jake Bauer comes in and hits into a ground out. As now we're going to see, you know who it is, Cameron Molina come in to try to close this one. Jordan Alvarez comes in into a ground out. Austin Meadows strikeout, and Francisco Lindor hits into a pop out. As now the Mariners have defeated the Astros 5-3. There we are, boys, getting the first win against the Astros at home. What a comeback victory it was. Logan Gilbert did a good enough job to get us into deep enough innings where we could bring in the middle relief pitchers and the closing pitchers and setup pitchers to get this win. But we need those bats to swing, boys. We need those home runs, just like we did late in the game. If it wasn't for those 2 home runs, we would have still went into extra innings more than likely. Oh my God, my throat is killing me. I need a glass of water. But you know what? We are in the playoffs. I need to push through it just like these boys need to push through everything too. There you go. Molina getting the save there. Nice job there. The man has been called on for 3 games now out of 5. Molina, though, feeling very comfortable and confident in his closing position and very confident in his ability. Kyle Tucker had 2 hits and 3 RBIs. So Kyle Tucker is able to score all 3 of those runs. George Alfaro, 4 at-bats, 3 hits, 1 run scored, 1 home run. As now it looks like we're going to be looking at the player of the game, who is going to be George Alfaro. Very good performance out of him, especially after reading that stat sheet. The guy was hitting very well, hitting home runs. Definitely deserves to be player of the game. Good performance from you, George. Uh-oh, boys. So it appears that Cesar Hernandez Jr. has hurt his hand. If you choose to play him, his performance will be affected, and you risk the chance of furthering aggravating it. All right, so I got to replace Cesar Hernandez Jr. in the lineup. So he's a shortstop right now. What do we got? Who do we got? All right, so we got a couple of outfielders. None of them we can bring in. We got Joe Rizzo. Can't play first. He can't play that, though. It looks like they're asking me to put David Bodie in his position. And honestly, Leonard Berry is the best chance, but Jake Bowers is still in. So we're going to put David Bodie in to replace him in the lineup. We're just going to have to send him farther down in the lineup now. So David Bodie will be getting a little bit of rest, I guess. Yeah, a little bit of rest. Nothing too serious. But David Bodie going to now get a chance for his first appearance. Oop. Did not mean to do that. James Italian. Cesar Jr. send him back down the lineup. Switch him with Boat. There we go. And now we're going to start things off. Jameson Talion getting the starting nod against Jose Altuve, who's going to hit into a ground out. Alex Bregman against Talion hits a single. All right, Bregman starts him off. Jordan Alvarez now coming up against Talion, who's going to pop out and bring up Meadows. Austin Meadows is going to fly out. Now we're going up against Jose Urquidy. Now 90 overall, a potential 28-year-old starting pitcher against Luis Garcia, who's going to strike out. Mookie Betts pops out, and Max Kepler strikes out. Francisco Lindor pop out. Dominique Smith going to get walked there. Bring up Carlos Correa, who's going to hit into a double play. Eloy Jimenez hits a solo home run, giving Seattle a 1-0 lead. That's what I like to see, Jimenez. Now bring up Adam Frazier, who hits a single. Bring up George Alfaro, who strikes out. Jake Bauer going to strike out as well, and Jared Kelenic also going to get struck out, leaving a man on first base. Corey Lee going to ground out. Kyle Tucker fly out, and Jose Altuve is going to get struck out. David Bodie hits a triple. There we go. Bring up Luis Garcia, who's going to ground out. Bring up Mookie Betts, who's going to hit a 2-run home run, giving Seattle a 3-0 lead. Bring up Max Kepler now, who's going to get struck out. Bring up Eloy Jimenez, who hit his solo home run back in the second inning, who's going to get walked. Your Quiddy's like, nah, I'm not dealing with that man again. Now brings up Adam Frazier, who's going to hit into a fielder's choice. Jameson Talion against Alex Bregman, who hits into a ground out. Jordan Alvarez hits into a fly out, and Austin Meadows flies out as well. George Alfaro comes in, fly out. Jake Bowers gets walked for now bringing up Jared Kelenic, who strikes out. David Bodie going to come in and pop out. Francisco Lindor ground out. Smith going to fly out, and Correa going to hit a double. Guy on second now bringing up Corey Lee, who's going to ground out. Luis Garcia going to go up against a new pitcher in the bottom of the fifth of Trevor Williams. 75 overall starting pitcher. This must be their long relief pitcher if I had to guess. Luis Garcia against Williams is going to strike out. Mookie Betts is going to strike out, and Max Kepler is going to hit into a ground out. Kyle Tucker, pop out. Jose Altuve, strikeout, and Alex Bregman is going to hit his single, pick off at first, bring up Alvarez, who's going to get walk guy on first and second, bring up Austin Meadows, who's going to hit into a ground out. Trevor Williams against Jimenez. Jimenez is going to hit into a single. He's going to hit a single, bring up Adam Frazier, who also hits a single, guy on first and second, bring up George Alfaro, who hits a single, scoring Jimenez from second. Now 4-0 is the score. Jake Bauer is going to strike out. Jared Kelenic hits into a fielder's choice. He reaches first. Unfortunately, Adam Frazier gets thrown out at third. David Bodie now coming up, chance to score 2 runs, but no, hits into a double play. Now we're going to see a pitching change here for Emmanuel Clase. Francisco Lindor hits into a ground out. Dominic Smith hits a single, bring up Carlos Correa, who's going to pop out, and Corey Lee is going to hit into a fielder's choice. Trevor Williams against Luis Garcia. Luis Garcia hits a double. Oh, we're going to see a pitching change for Brian Abreu. A potential 83, 26-year-old relief pitcher. Mookie Betts comes in. Oh, Garcia gets caught stealing third, but Mookie Betts hits into a ground out. Max Kepler hits a single there, bring up Eloy Jimenez, who's going to hit into a ground out. Emmanuel Clase against Kyle Tucker, fly out. Altuve, fly out, and Bregman also grounds out. Adam Frazier coming on in against Framber Valdez, B potential 76, 30-year-old relief pitcher. Adam Frazier hits a single, bring up George Alfaro, who pops out. Jake Bauer then flies out, and then Jared Kelenic is going to hit a single, guy on first and third for David Bodie, who hits a single, scoring Adam Frazier from third. 5-0 now the league. Luis Garcia hits a single as well, scoring Jared Kelenic. 6-0 lead. There they're going to see a pitching change for Brad Peacock, 73 overall, 36-year-old relief pitcher. Mookie Betts is going to hit into a ground out. Emmanuel Clase is going to stay in as Alvarez is going to hit a single, bring up Austin Meadows, who strikes out. Francisco Lindor hits a single, guy on first and second for Smith, who also hits a single. Now bringing up Carlos Correa, who hits into a ground out but scores 1 run, 6-1 now the lead. Bring up Corey Lee, who hits into a fly out. And the Mariners are going to defeat the Astros 6-1. That's what I like to see, boys. Good performance from all of you. Caesar Jr. no longer hurt. All right. I believe he should still be in the lineup. Yes, he is. Good. Still in the lineup, he is. Advance one more day. As now we are in game number 3 against, and it's going to be what they want to say, Jameson Talion. Jameson Talion pitched 2 days ago. We're not going to be throwing him. We're going to be throwing instead is the young man himself. Where is he? All right. We are going to throw Michael Baird at them. Jameson Talion deserves a rest. I would like to use him just in case we do have to go to game 6 or 7. So we're going to do Michael Baird, and we're going to do the exact same lineup we've been doing. That's been pretty hot. So Luis Garcia going up against Regilio Armenteros. B potential, 88 overall, 28-year-old starting pitcher. Luis Garcia is going to start us off with a single, steals second. Yes, he is. Now bring up Mookie Betts, who hits a single. Luis Garcia thrown out, trying to score. Max Kepler hits into a fielder's choice. Guy on first for Eloy Jimenez, who strikes out. So we had a chance to score. Unfortunately, we got a little too aggressive. Jose Altuve against Michael Baird. He hits a single. Pick off at first. Alex Bregman comes in, pops out. Pick off at first again. Alvarez going to hit into a double play, ending the first inning there. Adam Frazier comes in, strikeout. George Alfaro pops out, and Cesar Tuce Jr. is going to strike out. Austin Meadows hits a single. Pick him off at first. Nope, he's safe. Francisco Lindor gets walk. Guy on first and second. Now for Smith, who hits a single, scoring Meadows from second. Guy now still on first and second for Carlos Correa, who hits into a fielder's choice. Now guy on third and first for Corey Lee, who strikes out. Now Kyle Tucker is going to ground out. There we are, boys. So Jake Bauers now coming on up. He hits a double. Nice job there. Jared Kelenic hits a 2-run home run. The rookie really having a good postseason. 2-1 now the score. Seattle takes the lead. Luis Garcia comes in, hits a ground out. Mookie Betts hits a fly out. Max Kepler grounds out as well. Jose Altuve hits a double. Guy on second. Now bring up Bregman, who hits a single. Guy on first and second for Alvarez, who hits a single, but Altuve gets thrown out at home. Guy on first and second still for Austin Meadows, who hits into a double play, ending that inning. Eloy Jimenez now coming on up. He gets walked for Adam Frazier, who also gets walked. Guy on first and second for walk. Bring up George Alfaro, who strikes out. Cesar Tuce Jr. comes in, hits a ground out, but advances the runners over to second and third. Bring up Jake Bauers, who gets hit by the pitch. 4 bases loaded for Jared Kelenic. Hit a home run earlier. Can he hit a grand slam? No, but he does get walked, scoring the run, giving Seattle a 2-run lead for Luis Garcia now to do something, who hits into a flyout. 3-1 now the score. Bring up Francisco Lindor, who hits a single. Pick him off at first for Smith, who pops out. Now over to Correa, who hits into a double play. My God, they really like hitting those double plays. Mookie Betts now up against Armadillo. I'm just going to call him Armadillo. Screw it. Max Kepler now hits into a strike. Well, he doesn't hit anything because he strikes out. And Eloy Jimenez hits a single. Bring up Adam Frazier, who hits into a ground out. Michael Baird going up against Lee, who's going to strike out. Kyle Tucker going to ground out, and Altuve going to pop out. 3-1 to score. Luis Garcia. Oh, not Luis Garcia. My bad. George Alfaro now going to go up against a new pitcher, Eduardo Rodriguez, 84 overall, 30-year-old pitcher. And he's going to start off by getting struck out. Cesar Tuce Jr. is going to strike out as well, and Jake Bauers is going to get walked. Bring up Jared Kelenic, who's also going to get walked. So guy on first and second for Luis Garcia, who hits. But he does get thrown out, but not before we score 1 run. 4-1 now the score, 3-run lead for Seattle. Alex Bregman come in, get a ground out. Yonder Alvarez fly out, and Austin Meadows is going to hit into a ground out. Mookie Betts now fly out. Max Kepler hits a double. Bring up Eloy Jimenez as we see a pitching change to Brian Abreu, 83 overall relief pitcher, 26 years of age. Jimenez going to get struck out, and Adam Frazier is going to get struck out as well. We're going to see a pitching change on the half of Seattle over to Matt Bowman. Francisco Lindor is going to start off with a single. Dominic Smith also going to hit a single. So 2 guys. So a guy on first and second for Correa, who hits into a double play. Bring up Corey Lee, who's going to get struck out. There we go. George Alfaro struck out. Cesar Tuce Jr. strike out, and Jake Bauers grounds out. Kyle Tucker going up against Matt Bowman. I don't think so. We're going to switch over to Carl Edwards Jr. Tucker, pop out. Altuve hits a single. Bregman, strikeout. And Alvarez going to hit a single. Guy on first and second for Austin Meadows, who hits a single again. Bases loaded for Francisco Lindor, who hits into a fielder's choice. Unable to score anyone off those bases loaded. Jared Kelenic coming now on in against Framber Valdez, 77 overall, 30-year-old relief pitcher. Kelenic ground out. Luis Garcia ground out, and Mookie Betts gets walked. Max Kepler comes in and hits into a ground out. Yeah. As now we're going to put in Aaron Bummer. Hasn't gotten any action this postseason, and since we're up by 3, we're going to give him a chance. Dominic Smith hits into a flyout. Carlos Correa hits a double. Guy on second now for Corey Lee, who strikes out. Now bring up Kyle Tucker, who gets walked. Guy on first and second for Altuve, who gets struck out. And the Mariners have defeated the Astros 4-1. Now the series is in their hands. They are up 3-0 in this series. Still in Houston, though. Anything can happen. I will say that. Anything can happen. So here we are, game number 4. And now let's see what we can do on the road. And I think, yep, we're going to give the, should we give the nod to George Kirby? How is the rest of the series looking? The rest of the series, all right, Arizona has already advanced. So what I'm going to do, and I think is a smart thing to do, is I'm going to play Russell Lincoln this game. Now, it's not this best opportunity to sweep, no. However, it is our best chance to keep their guys. Would it be our best chance? If we win, it would be a good chance. Screw it. We're going to go with George Kirby. George Kirby it is. Luis Garcia going up against Forrest Whitley. A potential 88 overall starting pitcher, 25 years of age. Luis Garcia is going to start off by a ground out. Mookie Betts hits a single, followed by Max Kepler, who's going to get walk. Guy on first and second for Eloy Jimenez, who hits a 3-run home run. There we go, boys. Seattle up 3-0. Adam Frazier comes in, gets struck out. George Alfaro also gets struck out. George Kirby against Altuve, who hits a single there. Now Bregman hits into a fielder's choice. Altuve gets out, but Bregman reaches on first. Pick off first. We're bringing up Alvarez, who's going to get walk. Guy on first and second for Austin Meadows, who hits into a double play. And that is going to do it for the first inning. Cedar Tooth Jr. comes in and hits a double. Tries to steal third, gets caught stealing. Jake Bauers strikes out. Jerry Kelenic gets walked. Tries to steal second with him. There we go. Bring up Luis Garcia, who's going to hit a ground out. Francisco Lindor coming on in. He flies out. Smith sets a single. Now bring up Carlos Correa, who hits a sac bunt. Now Smith over on second, while Lee hits into a flyout. Mookie Betts hits a single there. Nice job. Max Kepler, strikeout. Eloy Jimenez hits into a double play. Kyle Tucker, ground out. Altuve, strikeout. Bregman hits a single. So guy on first for Alvarez, who's going to fly out. Adam Frazier now coming in, ground out. All right, George Alfaro, fly out. And Cesar Tooth Jr. strikes out. Austin Meadows coming on in for George Kirby. Hits a solo home run, cutting the lead down to 2. 3-1 now the score. Francisco Lindor hits a single. Smith gets walk. Guy on first and second for Carlos Correa, who hits a sac bunt. Now guy on third and second. Bring up Lee, who gets struck out. And now Kyle Tucker, who hits into a ground out, leaving guys in scoring position. Jake Bauers come in and gets walked. Jared Kelenic strikes out. Luis Garcia hits a single. Guy on first and second for Mookie Betts. But we're going to see a pitching change to Trevor Williams, the long relief pitcher for him, 75 overall, 31 years of age. Swing, and that's going to be a double scoring both Bauers and Garcia. 5-1 the score now. 4-run lead for Seattle. Max Kepler now coming in, looking to score. Mookie Betts from second. He hits a double and does score Mookie Betts from second. 6-1 now the score. Eloy Jimenez now hits a single, scoring Kepler from second. 7-1 now the score. Adam Frazier. All right, Adam Frazier gets walked now. Guy on first and second for George Alfaro, who hits into a double play. And we're going to see a pitching change here, as now I am going to put in Russell Lincoln. Jose Altuve hits a single off of Lincoln. Bregman strikes out. Alvarez gets walked. Guy on first and second for Austin Meadows hits a single, scoring 1 run. All right, and Alvarez advances over to third. Francisco Lindor hits a single, scoring another run. Now 7-3 is the score. Dominic Smith strikeout. Carlos Correa hits a single, bases loaded for Lee, who gets walked. Tucker flies out. Oh my God! Cutting the lead down to 3. Cesar Tooth Jr. strikes out. Jake Bauer gets walked. All right, Kelenic flies out, and Luis Garcia is going to hit a single. Guy on first and second for Mookie Betts, who hits a single, scoring Bauers from second. 8-4 now the score. Max Kepler now coming in against Eduardo Rodriguez, 84 overall starting pitcher, 30 years of age. As he's going to get walked, bases loaded for Eloy Jimenez, who's going to hit into a lineout. Altuve pop out. Bregman's going to ground out, and Alvarez is going to strike out. Adam Frazier comes in and hits a single. Jose. Okay. Alfaro gets hit by a pitch. Guy on first and second for Cesar Tooth Jr. is going to pop out. Jake Bauers comes in, pops out, and Jerry Kelenic is going to ground out. Austin Meadows going to hit a single off of Lincoln. Francisco Lindor goes and bunts him over to second. Bring up Smith, who hits a single guy on first and third for Carlos Correa, who lines out. Bring up Corey Lee, who's going to strike out. Eduardo Rodriguez still in as he walks Garcia over, but Garcia is going to try to steal second, but gets caught. Mookie Betts hits into a ground out, and Max Kepler flies out. Kyle Tucker still coming in against Russell Lincoln. He's going to fly out. Jose Altuve is going to ground out, and Alex Bregman is going to fly out. Eduardo Rodriguez still in, and it looks like Alfaro is going to be able to get a double, bring up Cesar Toots Jr. against Brad Peacock, 73 overall relief pitcher, 36 years of age, and he's going to fly out. Russell Lincoln staying on in against Jordan Alvarez, who's going to strike out. Austin Meadows flies out, and Francisco Lindor is going to strike out as the Mariners have now, won the American League Championship Series and will be taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks in the World Series. So let's advance on up to that one, boys. I hope you all enjoyed everything. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment. And until next time, stay safe and see you later.